Hey guys, Alex Stephenson here with a nice little Thursday night Innistrad Swiss draft. We opened Blood Gift Demon, which is a pretty amazing card. It's a 5/4 flyer for 5 that has a Phyrexian arena built into it, so that's pretty impressive. Grasp of Phantoms, notable card in here. Prey Upon, also really good. Ghoul Razor, okay. Delver, a little bit build around, but alright. We'll take the Blood Gift Demon. Okay, and what are we going to follow it up with? Well, I'm kind of just tempted to follow it up with the Undead Alchemist. Just a pretty strong card and would go well in blue-black. There's no real strong black picks for us here. The other notable picks are the Invisible Stalker and the Blazing Torch, but since I already have a solid black pick, and Undead Alchemist is actually a really cool, it's just a really cool card. I like it a lot. And there happens to be a lot of blue and black zombies, so that kind of works too. But yeah, he's really good, so I'm going to pick him. Okay, so third pick, looks like we're just going to pick up this Unburial Rites. We're already in black, and we might be able to pick up a Sherman Grotto or a Traveler's Amulet later to splash for that flashback. But Unburial Rites is an awesome card, especially since our first two picks are really solid creatures. Well, we got a Murder of Crows, which I am going to pick over the Stitch Drake. Even though Stitch Drake is a zombie, which works better with the Alchemist. The Alchemist can just he can be on his own and he's fine. If he hits him once, you'll most likely get one zombie, and if you're lucky, you'll get like 2 or 3. So he's fine on his own. Honestly, I anticipate getting a few zombies, but I don't need to go out of my way to grab zombies, and especially not over a Murder of Crows, which is just a amazingly strong blue card. Okay. Well, this is looking good. We could pick up the Drown Yard as a way to put stuff in our graveyard, but I think Mauler is definitely just, the pick here. Yeah, he's just an awesome, efficiently costed creature. And the Drown Yard is definitely interesting as a way to self-mill or kill your opponent, but I think we can pick up a makeshift Mauler here. That's okay. Okay, well, zombie. No, Unbreathing Horde's actually a really terrible card, It actually can be a 0/0 if you have no zombies in play or in your graveyard. So it can be a 3-mana nothing, which is really bad. We'll pick up Ghoul Razor here. There's nothing else that's really spectacular for us here. Spectral Flight's interesting. Night Terrors is okay, and I've used it with some degree of success before, but I think Ghoul Razor is good. Okay, so here it gets a little bit interesting. We could pick up the Interloper, which is a nice evasive creature. I actually like Interloper a lot. I'm probably going to pick that. I like it more than Corpse Lunge. I'd like to get some stuff that, like makeshift Maulers and Stitch Drakes and stuff. And those don't work particularly well when you're running cards like Corpse Lunge. So I'm going to pick up the Interloper and be happy with that too. He's a nice evasive creature. Okay. Well, I think Typhoid Rats is certainly good for this deck. We already have a lot of late game beef, so Typhoid Rats is perfectly fine as an early creature to put some defense down. I think I'm going to pick up another Ghoul Razor. They're pretty good in multiples. They're a little bit counterproductive with the whole, the makeshift Mauler and Stitch Drakes and stuff. But I don't know. I don't need to play them necessarily, but they're okay to have anyway. Alright, well, we have a Spider Spawning, which is definitely interesting. But once again, yeah, Spider Spawning, not so much interaction when you want to play like a makeshift Mauler Stitch Drake thing. Nothing else super great for us here. I think we might just pick the spider spawning regardless, just because it's the best pick in here, and I don't really even want to pick anything else in there. I don't really anticipate playing any of that. Altar's Reap is definitely good enough for us. We can, you know, sack a Typhoid Rats and get a couple cards, fill up our graveyard for the makeshift Mauler. I'll take a Night Terrors now. Ghoul Caller's Bell. Hopefully don't have to play that. I'd like to pick up some Armored Scabs and Deranged Assistants, stuff like that. I guess Murder of Crows is pretty good for putting stuff in your graveyard. Okay, so pack 2, and what do we have? Well, Galvanic Juggernaut is a very strong uncommon, good to beat down card. I think we're gonna probably need this Deranged Assistant. We've already got, you know, a lot of 3, 4, 5 drops, stuff we want to ramp into, put stuff in our graveyard so we can play our makeshift Maulers, and hopefully we'll pick up 1 or 2 more of those and maybe some Stitch Drakes and stuff. Diregraph Ghoul is also a really strong card. The Galvanic Juggernaut is in a vacuum stronger than the Deranged Assistant, but the Assistant is, and I anticipate the Assistant being more important for our deck. I think. I mean, it's still a little bit early to tell since we're only at the beginning of pack 2 and I only have 1 makeshift Mauler. But just from the way that this archetype goes, I have a feeling there's a chance we could get a Goliath or a couple Stitch Drakes. But in order to efficiently play them, we are going to need cards like Deranged Assistant. So I have to pick him over the Galvanic Juggernaut there. Okay. Well, what do we have for removal right now? We actually have 0 pieces of removal. So I really want to pick this Deadweight. The Armored Scab is going to be much better for our deck. And this is actually kind of tough. I mean, we need to get some removal, and we're only at the beginning of pack 2. I think I actually am going to pick the Deadweight over the Blazing Torch too. The reason being, I just got the Deranged Assistant, so at least I got something, you know, that works towards the Maulers and stuff. But since I have 0 pieces of removal, I think I have to start picking that stuff up here. The punishment's pretty interesting since it fills my graveyard and is removal, but yeah, I think Deadweight's fine. It's a solid piece of removal. Okay, well, we get to follow it up with another good piece of removal here in Claustrophobia. Silent Departure is actually really good for blue-black because, you know, you're filling your graveyard and you get to use this from your graveyard. But Claustrophobia is like a straight-up just blue pacifism, so I think, yeah, I'm going to pick that. Okay, well, now we're getting a lot of removal, I guess, so I kind of wish I'd picked up that Armored Scab. We're just going to pick up the Victim of Night here. Okay. Wow. Mirror-Mad Phantasm makes it this far. Yeah, even though the Tribute and Typhoid Rats are, you know, decent on color, Mirror-Mad Phantasm is a 5-mana, 5/1 flying. Even if you never use the ability, that's a well-costed creature, in my opinion. 5 power flying for 5 is very good. Even though it dies to Geist Flame and stuff, it's still okay, I think. So I'm gonna pick it. And it definitely fills your graveyard, but I don't know. It's liability. It's dangerous. Yeah, I think just Banshee here. It's pretty far and away the best card in that pack. Let's see. Not a ton of picks for us here. I suppose we can take the Spectral Flight. Let's see. Take the Curiosity. Well, we table the Diregraph Ghoul, which is actually really cool because I think he's a really good card. And amazingly, we tabled the Armored Scab too, so we're kind of lucky about that. And I'm happy to pick that up. Kind of necessary, actually. Actually, not even necessary since we only have the makeshift Mauler so far. I'm kind of surprised. I guess I was expecting to see 1 more Mauler, a Stitch Drake, or a Scab Goliath in that pack, but I guess on to pack 3, we'll see that. Here, Brain Weevil works better with the Morkrut Banshee and puts a creature in the graveyard, so I think that's definitely the pick for us here. And we could actually end up playing that too, so we'll see. How about Rooftop Storm so I can make my... oh wait, that's stupid. Yeah, that's not a good card. The 6 mana on it, it's kind of funny actually. Rooftop Storm is a really funny card, and I hope that it sees some casual play, or already is seeing casual play, I guess, I don't know. Ghost Quarter's just fine if we go up against a deck that has Casting Wolfrun or something. Lost in the Mist. Alright, so pack 3. I guess we could pick up another Morkrut Banshee, which actually is a really good card, but kind of want this Stitch Drake, honestly. Yeah, I think I want this Stitch Drake. I think because of how cheap it is, and since I already have stuff to fill my graveyard, why don't we hide some stuff that I'm not going to play? I'd kind of like to get a better idea of what this deck's looking like. Let's hide the Night Terrors for now. I might end up playing one of them. Yeah, this looks pretty good actually. I think Stitch Drake is going to be just fine here. We already have a lot of 5-drops that are all, bombs, so I don't necessarily need another Banshee right now. I think Stitch Drake looks better. Okay, wow. This is a hell of a pack for us. We've got Torch, Forbidden Alchemy, Altar's Reap, Walking Corpse, Civilized Scholar, Army of the Damned, and Stitcher's Apprentice, all that are on color with us, or just usable by us. Scholar is an amazing card, as it works phenomenal with, the Mauler and the Drake, and it's just a sweet way to get to your bombs. The Army of the Damned is just an awesome finisher card. I don't actually think I'm going to pick the Army of the Damned, just because it's just a little bit unnecessary with the amount of late game stuff I already have. I think I want to pick the Forbidden Alchemy, as it's card advantage plus fill my graveyard already. So I guess it's Forbidden Alchemy or the Civilized Scholar. And I think I actually want Alchemy more because it fills a little faster, I guess. And you get the 2 uses out of it. Yeah, I think I want the Alchemy over the Scholar. I don't actually know which one of those is better. They might actually be the same in power level. I'm not exactly sure. How am I looking on removal? I really want to pick this Moan of the Unhallowed, but there's also the Deadweight. So we already have one Deadweight, a Victim of Night, a Claustrophobia, and possibly a Morkrut Banshee, so that's it. That's not a ton of removal. The Moan of the Unhallowed is a tremendously strong card. Something to keep in mind. Do I have enough removal, or am I missing enough removal where I feel comfortable picking a weaker card in Deadweight over the Moan of the Unhallowed? I'm not exactly sure. I would like 1 or 2 pieces more of removal. I guess it's more likely that I'll see another Deadweight than I will see another Moan, because, the rarity on Moan. So I think I actually am going to pick the Moan of the Unhallowed here. Alright, well, thankfully we saw another piece of removal. I think I'm actually just fine with picking up another Victim of Night here. Yeah, over the Screeching Bat and over the Lantern Spirit, both of which would be, and the Occultist too. Wow, there's actually a lot of good cards in this pack for us too. But I'm gonna pick the Victim. I'm gonna get another piece of removal. Okay, well, I don't think we need a Corpse Lunge. Another Diagraph Ghoul actually looks like it'll be just fine. Diagraph Ghoul's a really strong card. Wow, another Civilized Scholar. Yeah, that's going to be the pick for us here. And this deck's coming together really well. I guess we can pick up a Sensory Deprivation. Wow, awesome. We got an Occultist too. This deck's really coming together. I'm happy with how this is looking. Here I'm fine with getting a Stitcher's Apprentice. Well, we tabled the Army of the Damned, and since it's a mythic and possibly playable, I will take it. Getting to 8 mana. Whether or not I'm actually going to play the army is another question. Wow, we got a Shimmering Grotto too. That's awesome. That's actually going to make our Unburial Rites even easier to play too. This deck looks really good. Another Occultist. Wow. I guess we'll take the Maw maybe sideboard. Alright, I'll try and make the best 40 card deck I can out of this. Okay, so this is, I think, the best 40 card deck that I can come up with. Maybe the Army of the Damned isn't the right choice, but the way I look at it, I have Forbidden Alchemy and Civilized Scholar and Occultist and stuff, so I'm putting stuff in my graveyard, and even though I'll never get to 10 mana, this is a kind of card that I can sort of just loot away if I don't need it, or it could be a top deck that just wins the game. I don't know. I think it's actually a really strong card if you can get to 8 mana. But otherwise, I mean, the rest of the deck looks so strong that I'm not really concerned about running Army of the Damned, just because the rest of the deck looks so good. It just looks like it's got a really nice curve. I've got 5 creatures that are 2 converted mana cost or less. I've got just a lot of really strong game-ending cards. Like, all of these can just end a game, and this one too even. So, yeah, I mean, this is a really strong deck. So I hope I do well. Hope I get some good draws and can finish off my opponents quickly with this. I don't know. This looks nice. All right, I'll see you round 1.